Welcome back, guys. Yeah, I'm already out on the water. This is gonna be a quick one. I just had a couple minutes today to run out to a body of water. It was not supposed to be this nice out. It was supposed to be really cold. Turned out it's gonna be 75 today, so I'm taking advantage of it. Early summer stuff. The water, when it goes up and down in temperatures, fish move around a bunch, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to track them down. But when it warms up, if you can stay on top of them, you can usually get a bunch of them. I'm gonna chase pretty much just northern pike and bass today. They're the only two big fish in this lake, really, so that's the one that I'm gonna chase. But I know this time of year I have a chance of getting a really big one. I don't know if you guys are watching all of my videos, like you should be. Not that you have to, but like you should be. I was out here with my girlfriend when she had vacation, and I got lucky, and I was throwing a giant spin around. I got a 19.5-inch bass that went about 4 pounds. So I'm hoping that if I get another one that big, it's gonna still be right around that spawn time. They're probably all post spawn right now, but I mean, if they're post spawn, they're gonna be feeding hard. So I could have a numbers day. So thumbs up for possibly getting some numbers. But yeah, stay tuned, and I'm gonna be throwing pretty much just all moving fast stuff today, nothing slow. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, for a crank, I'm gonna throw this little man's baby -1. This is really shallow water in here. The water I'm in is only 2.5 feet, 3 feet deep. So these guys are perfect for this body of water. And then I think I'm gonna throw a big spinner on the big rod and probably a swim bait on the other one. Okay, like I said, on my bigger rod, I'm gonna throw this tandem blade because I did get smoked by a really nice one last time. That's what I got the 18-incher on. It's got a little Kitech paddle tail. This one's, you guys might be new to this if you haven't seen it. This is my Apex 710 medium heavy. And from Tuned Up Customs, this is actually like one of their biggest rods they make. It's basically like a lighter musky rod. But I like it for throwing bigger gear. It's got the power handle. I plan on using it this year for muskie fishing. Comment below if you guys are excited for me to go chase some muskie. I haven't actually done that on purpose in a long time, so we'll see how that goes. But we're gonna run this tandem on this rod, and then the next rod I'm just gonna put basically just a swim bait on it. Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna run this single swim bait. It's got an EWG weighted EWG, and I have a way of running these so I'm not using a screw lock. And I use a little clap, or a clip. I forgot what these are called. They're like a clip or clasp or whatever. But I run those when I run my leader. It makes it easier for switching out the baits, and then just it keeps these healthy longer. And this I'm throwing on my medium heavy fast action. It's a 7.2. Usually it's a 7.6, but this one's a little chopped down. I like this one because it's got a really good feel to it as far as like the sensitivity. And when I'm running this, a lot of times I'll come up and grab it from underneath, and you want to feel that jump in your line. I'm running a 30-pound braid on here, my Crotto DC. I'll have everything linked below. If you guys want to help the channel out ever, everything's always linked in the description. But yeah, so crankbait, big spinner, and one of these guys. Kind of all the above. I'm not fishing creature baits yet because the water's still only like 64 degrees. Once it hits that 67 to 70 degrees, I'll start throwing my craws and bottom stuff, creature baits. But yeah, I'm gonna get started with a crankbait, get moving a little bit here, and see how things go. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna throw this guy first. This is actually on a cranking rod from Tuned Up Customs. It's my 7-foot medium. It works really good for throwing these smaller cranks. But if you guys ever want to get anything, I don't think they have them listed right now on their website, but you can still order these. They have a whole cranking rod series. You can get them all customized. They have a whole bait caster series, but a lot of people don't know that. So I figured I'd give you guys a heads up. And then you can also use the code DWS10, save 10% off on all your orders. So whatever you order, 10% off. Technically, the more you order, the more off you'll get. So, all right, enough talking. Let's get some giants. Fish. Not a bad one either. Stay down. He's barely hooked. Come here. That was a good hit. Little buck bass. Hit like a ton of bricks though, that was fun. Oh. That guy was up in like a foot of water. So I guess I'm gonna be making more casts to really shallow stuff. Doing a little bit of crank pausing. So something that I like to do early in the season before it's the midsummer craziness is I will crank and pause. So just crank like 3 feet. I think each double crank of this reel is like 24 inches or something like that. So try to get two cranks in and pause, but then crank again before the bait floats up. That kind of erratic motion of stop, go, a lot of times they'll be chasing it at stop, they'll clobber it, or they'll stare at it, and then the minute you go again, they'll clobber it. Just a quick, easy tip for you guys to try out next time you're out crankbait fishing. Fish way out there. Not entirely sure what it is, but it feels good. Oh, it's a largie. Come here. We're getting bigger. That's all that matters. Oh, it just fell out. And that is why you always apply pressure. Not a bad fish. A little 1.5 pounder. I want bigger though. But 2 in like 20 minutes. We're not doing too bad. I can kind of see there's like a weed line right here. This water is only like 3 feet deep. Not even 2 feet deep. So there's like, if you can even hear me over those guys, there's like sand here, but I can see, even with the dirty water, there's dark spots. So what I'm doing with this is I'm finding the edges of those and trying to get it to crank just along them. I'm still running into some weeds once in a while, but it seems like if you can get it to run next to them or come across them, those guys are just ambushing right now. Okay, I'm coming up on a new patch of pencil reeds that are just starting to grow. And a big thing that I like to do is I'll fish the outsides of them with this or a spinner, so a crankbait or a spinner. But that's why I have my weedless swim bait on. You guys will see it in a little bit here because there's pockets in there. And a lot of times these have really sandy bottoms around the middles of them, and that's where bass will spawn. So if it's pre-spawn or post-spawn, it won't matter. If I can get that thing to drop down in those pockets, a lot of times the bigger bass will be just deep inside those. So I'm gonna go around this basically once or twice with this crankbait, maybe my spinner, and then after that, I'm gonna switch it over to that and start casting into it. Okay, so I circled this half of it, and now if you guys can see it, I don't know if you'll be able to tell through the video, but there's pockets, and you can see there's the old ones that are gray and nasty looking, but then there's some greener ones coming up through the middle of these. My goal is to try to, like straight ahead here, there's a patch of green ones. A lot of times those new patches will hold like 2 or 3 bass. That's just something I learned from years of doing this. Those of you guys that are not new here, I've been bass fishing my whole life. I always wanted to be like a bass master or whatever. But this is just me coming back to it. I finally have some good gear, and I'm very thankful. Thank you all of you guys. That's you guys. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Because when I get bored, if I don't feel like fishing anything special, bass and northern pike are pretty readily available. So let's hope we can get some giants out of here today. But yeah, if you guys are fishing new weeds, I don't know when you guys are going to see this, but if you're fishing new weeds, that's the #1 thing I start with is the new ones, and then I'll work around these old stumps and stuff like that too, because sometimes they'll just be sitting there waiting to ambush food. But yeah, let's try to catch something out of this now. Yep, right there. Oh, he came off. I gotta set my I gotta set my drag a little tighter. He was pulling that right off. But yeah, that guy was sitting right on these green weeds right here. I watched him come right out of them. So I'm definitely gonna examine this a little bit better, and yeah, hopefully that's a little pattern for some bigger ones. But he crushed it. That's kind of surprised me. Okay, so that last bass tore my stuff up. I'm gonna show you guys why I do this. I mean, there's the right way with the the screw locks and everything. Everybody likes those. But I've discovered that pushing this through, so get it started in there and pushing it through just like that. So I pushed it through the bottom, centered it, popped it out the front. Now it's going to sit back there. I'm going to set it so it's weedless, good to go. Clip it back on my line. So I learned that just seemed to be the best way to do this if I wanted it to sit as natural as possible. And then you just pull this forward, and now you pretty much have a weedless hook. So this is probably the best idea I've come up with. And then all I do is I make sure to put it in from like the bottom so that all the clasp and stuff is up the top. Keeps it mostly weedless. I can't say it's guaranteed to be weedless, but for the most part the weeds run right across this, and I haven't really had any big problems yet. But yeah, if you guys ever want to try that, that works really good. And if you want me to do like a really close-up, slow-mo, detailed version of that, I'll make one for you guys, and that way you can do it too. Right there. I hope you guys saw that. That guy came in and got it on the lift. That was cool. Little skinny dude, but the fact that he shot out of the water was awesome. So yeah, I just slid that back down, put this back into the weedless position. We're good to go. For those of you guys wondering what I'm doing, I'm kind of yo-yoing this back. I will swim it up to the surface and back because it seems like it gives them a little bit better image of it, like, you know, getting cast against the sunlight. So the sunlight's behind me, but it's bright and sunny out right now. There's very little wind, so I think they're just seeing the shadow come up to the surface. And bass are pretty opportunistic. So if it comes up above them, I think most of them are going to come up and eat it. But yeah, just kind of yo-yoing it up and down, bringing it in next to these weeds and stuff like that, and through the open pockets. Just play around until you get the cadence right, and you'll start catching fish. Okay. For the sake of trying to find something a little bit bigger, I'm gonna start tossing this guy around. That thing usually finds me at least one giant for the day. And like I said, I'm throwing that on my Apex 710. It's my medium heavy, and I have my Alexa HD. This is a 300 HSLP. The P is this goofy power handle without the T, but I kind of like it. It's a really comfortable reel. I mean, it is night and day different as far as comfort compared to the old reels that I used to use. So, but I'll have all this stuff linked in the description below for you guys. The best thing that I can say is if you're looking to buy this rod, to pair it up with at least a reel of similar size and build, it's really nicely weighted, and it handles some decent sized lures. This is a small one. It can handle pretty decent stuff. I think this one's, yeah, 3/8 to 1 1/4. So it'll handle some decent stuff. But all right, let's see if I can find what this is supposed to catch. Fish. A little bit better. I think that's the biggest one today. That dude clobbered it. That was fun. I really need to get I need to get somewhere where I can catch some like 5-pounders. But those 2s, when they clobber this stuff, I mean, they hit it like a ton of bricks, and this rod is really sensitive, so it's like a lightning bolt hitting you. But I don't know, that's like 6 fish in like an hour, so we're doing pretty good, I think. Fish. We got a pike. You were where the bass was supposed to be, buddy. Well, there goes one swim bait to a northern. Good thing I have a bunch of those. There we go. Good as new. And I stuck a little bit longer one on there to see if it makes a difference. But that pike was right where the bass was supposed to be. There's a pile of weeds there and here. I was trying to split these next, and he hit it right off the tip of those. So there are old weeds, but it doesn't mean the fish won't sit on them. He smoked it, so that was fun. And that's why I run a steel leader out here too if I'm bass fishing, because there's a lot in that size class. That's like 22 inches, 24 inches. But now that happened, I have to check each and every one of these little dead stock piles. See if there's anything around them. Make a couple casts at each one. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to a good sized pike if there's one out here. But the main goal here is to try and get a 4 or 5 pound LMB to make it a good day. Oh, there's a good bass. I was spacing out there. That guy surprised me. Good colors on that guy. Little 2-pounder. He's got potential. He can get bigger. Yeah, that guy was right between some weeds over here. This is fun. Oh, had another one. Apparently they're loaded in here. I think that's a northern pike. Pulled it out of his mouth. Well, sliced up. Yeah, a couple big gashes. Pulled my skirt down. Still okay, but yeah, that was like a 25-30 inch northern pike. He gets stuck down in the weeds. Another little northern. So many snakes. Danger. Gotta watch out for those guys. Oh, that's big, whatever it is. Wasn't paying attention. There's a couple deer walking on the bog over here. Oh, that's why. Bigger northern pike. I wonder how big he is. Kind of want to see how big that one is. Started eating these guys last year. That would be a keeper. I don't feel like cleaning him tonight. But they do taste good. Okay, so that's the first big northern today. Well, big is relative. This lake, I think the biggest one I got out here was 32 inches, which is a decent sized northern for most people anyways. But that one was 27. Last fall, I actually capped an 8 227s out of here, and they were pretty good. I pickled one of them. Or actually, I think I pickled both of them, now that I think about it. If you guys don't know, I have a cooking channel. It's DWS Cooks Everything. I did pickled northern pike on there for everybody that wants to learn how to do that. But yeah, they're really good pickled, and then I fried, or not fried up, but I pan fried the back section. So those of you guys that know how to clean northern pike, there's that back section, ends up like a steak. Really good pan fried, and some light garlic butter and onions. Making myself hungry. But I have a little bit of time left. I'm gonna see what else I can get, and I'm gonna just basically keep casting this big bait around. Like I said, I'll link everything in the description that I'm using today, and then you can use all the discount codes and stuff like that. Get yourself set up the same way. If you want to know what I'm running on my Lexa, that is 65 pound, what is that? Suffix 832. I don't work with them. I'm just letting you guys know in case you guys want to copy my setup. It's Alexa 300 HD. That's the power, and then it's got 65 pound braid. I have a steel leader, and then I'm running, I forgot what kind of spinner it is, but I'll try to find those if I can put them in the description. And then that's I think it's a 4.9 Kitech fat swing, the swing impact or whatever. So that's the setup. Catches everything early in the season. It's real fun. Let's get some more. Oh, that's a northern. That dude came right up to the surface and pounded it. Don't destroy my bait, please. I watched him come up and slam it. Fish. Good fish. Oh, that's why. Fish. Oh, it feels like a good one. It buried me in the weeds. Let's see if I can get him out. Gotta keep tension on this thing. I think it swam right into Definitely a fish down there still. Let's see if we can net it. Just a little northern pike. But I had him good enough that he wasn't coming off. Little dude buried me in the weeds. Surprised I didn't lose him. Thick little dudes. Be nice if that thing was like 35 inches. Alright guys, I don't know what you're gonna see last. Probably the bigger northern pike. I got probably a half dozen more of those little snakes. I just figured I didn't want to throw those guys in there. It's the same fish over and over and over again. Basically there's a bunch of 20-inch northern pike in here. I'm gonna have to travel and go find some bigger fish. If you guys want me to go try to find and track down some bigger northern pike, muskie, or bass, comment below which one you guys like the most, and I'll see which one I can chase more of. But those of you guys that are new here, I fish for everything. You guys like Midwest or whatever you want to call it, fishing. If you feel like subscribing, go ahead, subscribe. If you feel like hitting the like button, go do that. But like I said before, any way you guys want to help the channel out, if you're subscribed or just stopping by here, you can go down in the description. I got everything listed below. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. I need some food, but hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. See you guys next time.